Gold Board warns foreigners. Mayday, SMG urges workers' unity to resist promises of capitalism and privatization of state assets. And the imperialist coups in Africa. Angry Burkinabes protest against France, US in solidarity march with Captain Ibrahim Traore. I will be prudent and modest in handling public resources, Mahama assures Ghanaians on May Day celebration. Afro-Arab Microfinance named best in Ghana at 2025 Global Banking and Finance Awards. Russia begins building road bridge to North Korea. The informer. Decent jobs, wages, my focus, Mahamat Labour. Bawumia hailed as Ghana tops Africa with seamless IPS in latest survey. NPP thank you tour, grassroots yearning for unity. Napo, I'm ready for your Gata politics. AG Des A+. Zoom Lion states position on year contract. Lawyer rejects Mahamat's Supreme Court nominations, insists Ghana doesn't need bloated Supreme Court. The Inquisitor. More discoveries. Yoko holds Edubwa in his balls tight. Akogan writes, GBA may soon need pestle and mortar. Gold Board extends deadline for gold vendors. We are reflecting, learning from our mistakes. Napo. The Daily Statesman. Ekufado rallies NPP for 2028 comeback. Zoom Lion defends role in YEA contract. Political parties demand reinstatement of Chief Justice. Bahamas actions threaten rule of law and stability. The Ghanaian Publisher. UPSA tax dialogue. Experts praise SML Ghana's risk-reward model. Our hands are clean in YEA contract. Zoom Lion. TUC to government. Ensure living wages. Reinstate unfairly dismissed workers. Current processes for removing CJ unfair. Sufai Ekufu. Metroland. YEA CEO assures bars stop boys of government's commitment to sanitation. Promasido's cowbell exploitative advertising strategy poses significant risk to young individuals. Youth unemployment, agricultural waste. The answer, Professor Eric Nyako Samson. Is this politics of ethnocentrism? Chebi NDC chairman quizzes. Is Mahama plotting a third term? Minority alleges constitutional manipulation ahead of May 5 protests. Daily Post. Money stolen by Edubwahine in cybersecurity scandal could build one Agenda 111 hospital. AG. ECG will not be privatized. Mahama assures organized labor. Cocoa Board probes $263 million cocoa rehabilitation loan disbursement. President John Mahama launches National Apprenticeship Program with 300 million cedis. Business and Financial Times. The Money Summit 2025 enhanced pension investment strategy to safeguard retirement incomes. There's also a very interesting feature. The silent exodus, how gold smuggling is undermining the economy. SNIT must deliver value for contributors. GAME, as NPRA boss advocates diversified pension investment. Prioritize future finances. Ecobank head of marketing and brand. ADB to strengthen core mandate, and that's MD. Lead MSME financial intermediation. And as UBA delivers stronger 2024 results, commit to innovation, inclusion, and sustainable growth. The Catholic Standard. Conclave to elect new pope to begin on May 7. Editorial. Reset agenda needed for fight against Galamsey, our gravest national threat. Church in Ghana honors Pope Francis with memorial mass. Boku peace talks resume. Cardinal ask faithful to pray for their discernment for new pope. The Daily Searchlight. 5 killed in shooting drama in Eastern region over sand winning. And that's terminating or transferring heads of public institution unlawful. Clock sag. We will reposition NIB towards rapid industrialization. MD. Retired UK-based investment banker launches educational fund. The Herald newspaper. Dr. Sledge, A+ Alliance holds Mahama government captive. Ghana's Minerals Fund $119 million US dollars payment or repayment in limbo as AG drops bombshell. Who's this Dr. Sledge guy? His name is almost everywhere. Well, he must be a very powerful guy, I suspect. Anyway, how former spy boss built empire with state money. Disgruntled GBC workers protest against boss at May Day parade. MPA boss engages IGP on strategic collaboration. Kofi Jume's 50.6 million Akwateshi debt questioned. How can you sell alcohol and still be in debt? Mahama. Anyway, so these are the front page stories of the various newspapers that we received this morning. We're back shortly, and my guest would have been seated. Please stay with us.
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302 540 668 or 0501 678 547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
Fire pomudi ni agubi Ghana fueni age efri say ya your local spices na ya frafra dia ya sankofa natural spice
me de go me jollof mu ni me still ahodoma e ma ne dance
Stanley the barbecue the go on
sankofa natural spices and one you use 100% natural said the happen
Adofo mamunye huge mistake sankofa natural spices the
FDA ejedi nkratu yatu.
Taste this holiday for 249 Ghana cedis.
Ama, na se mi jeno wo bin enkoye kwao. Ama ma ye bohu se kontomra akija.
Na se me hu se me nyo basima kura. Ama me kunu ni me into kwankwa. Oyiwa. Enye mo kun. Give us GC mixture and any capsules. Aye num boom. And what some na more kana. A boy and ma any memmenina. Ne ma ba ye obesima. Na bear maswa ye bemesima. Ya, we be brown. I'm a neck giant and sour the shelly bottom. No when you never need to say you owe you chop one. GC mixture and then a capsule.
A pin for a batter, one more menu for one and Quadawi if you do me.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, some more.
Me didn't tontum, Mr. Freddy Calico, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Freddy once now. Hey, that's you. Improve car, yeah. Captain, mosquito, double the accent. Maybe the Sasso spray. My friend is Sasso quell. Yeah, go to my Sasso.
Come tom preko.
Hello, my friends. My name is Calkits Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Calkits. Happy smile.
Where to get polytank?
Oh, and you're fine.
Go straight.
Oh, I want for left, right.
That's right. Ghana na ye wono. So when you do more, and ye data. Who knows? Abe, na here. Me pe polytank ato. Enu ti ta menu aba otu ko dia be na ba hayo. O fu to bia, e se enja ye kura.
Akuya bulambo kotoman. Emu ha.
Like they take took my eyes. Go to the distributor and you give the original polytank. Polytank. You hear the sound?
Polytank. Papananka Sankasa.
In the first place, Dr. Bawumia, with all due respect, as things stand now, you are not the leader of the party.
So it's not even your position to be inviting people to...
in your position to be exposing the content of the report. It's not crap.
Yeah.
At West, let the party chairman do it. If you are strategic about these things and you are not all concerned about, oh, let me leave, it's my time to leave, this guy failed, so let me take over now. What are you doing? Look, the NDC government just took office. There will be mistakes they will make. There will be great things that they will do. John Mahama yesterday launched a very sweet initiative. These are things that you sit down as an opposition party. You should reflect on the ones that will help us as a country, the ones that will not help us, and sometime in August, then you are out with constructive alternatives and celebrating those that you can celebrate. But what have we seen? Immediately after the government came into office, they were firing on all salvos. And many of these oppositions are not coordinated. Someone is saying something on this network, another person is saying something, and many of these things are own goals. They sometimes even prove that the position you held in government, when you were in government, is the very thing that you are opposing today. People are saying declare state of emergency on Galamsey. When you were minister, what did you do about it? These things were raised even on this network. People came on this network and said that look, it will not happen because of ABCD. What has changed in 4 months that will require you to now say as a minister no longer in office that, oh, let's do what do you call it, state of emergency? The point I'm making is that the NPP has got to go back into the shadows. read carefully what Professor Michael Quaid found. The recommendations that it has made, internalize them, and based on sound thinking, invite people who understand strategy
to do with it.
Samens is there, he's done strategy.
He's not interested in that.
All right. Now, this is the composition of the police council in Ghana. The vice president is a party man. It doesn't matter whether it's MPP or NDC. This is what we have given us, and this is what we work with. Now, a minister responsible for internal affairs, who is he? He's a party man. Then you have Inspector General of Police appointed by the president. The president can dismiss him at any point in time, and therefore his loyalty is partial. It doesn't matter whether he was appointed by MPP or NDC, his loyalty is divided. Because he can be appointed today and dismissed tomorrow. And the worst scenario is when he is appointed to be acting capacity. It means I'm watching you. That is what it means. Now, the Attorney General is a party man. Then you have a lawyer nominated that one again, impartial, a representative of police, very well. 2 members of the police service appointed by the president. So who is that? Those people. Once they are appointed by the president, you know where they are coming from. Then 2 other members appointed by the president. So the whole composition of the police council is the president. And it's the party. Why will you give us this and think that we should be professional? You cannot. There's no way you can have a professional police service. It is party politics. And that is why we have become a chess in the hands of the government. Whether it's MPP or NDC, we are chess in their hands. And they are playing political games. That is why no party in opposition can trust the government, can trust the police. Because of what you do with us. And so once you move into opposition, you are scared that the same thing you do with us, the other party will do with us. So there is a need for constitutional amendment. And I propose that if we really want a long-term solution to this vigilantism, one major thing is that the president must be appointed for a fixed, the IGP must be appointed for a fixed term with approval of Parliament to exercise independent control. There's a need for an independent police service commission to replace the current police council. And grounds upon which an IGP can be removed should be spelled out so that the IGP's removal from office cannot be based on the whims and caprices of appointing authority. That the Minister of Interior can only give directives to the IGP in writing on matters of policy, but not as to how the IGP must do his work.
Honorable Ministers of State, ladies and gentlemen, strong one at that. And experienced processes will place her in a position to continue the process of modernizing and transforming Ghana's judiciary. Congratulations, my lady. The bar of which I'm the official leader is in full support of your tenure, and I pledge the fullest cooperation of the Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice for you as well. May God be your guide as you superintend justice delivery in our great republic. Cape Coast, and I think I must also extend a happy birthday to you. And indeed, if I had some bouquet would have arrived at your door. It's never too late in this regard. Cape Coast represents many of the good things in law practice. Let me say that I'm aware of plans. I am of the view that we should also renovate and preserve the significance of that beautiful edifice, obtain some nurturing from a Cape Coast high school. And I hope that lawyers get it. It is becoming increasingly quite clear that even though the next president will be an economist, being the son of a lawyer, even though the next president, in my view, would definitely be an economist, being the son of a lawyer, he will hold fast to the values the legal profession cherishes. If lawyers have played this prominent role in the building and development of our country, then their role in the maintenance of standards and the promotion of integrity in public life cannot be taken for granted. The significance of integrity is summed up in the famous words of former U.S. Senator Alan K. Simpson, and it goes as follows. If you have integrity, nothing else matters. If you do not have integrity, nothing else matters. End of quote. In these words, the importance and indispensability of integrity in every situation we find ourselves in as human beings, including our public life, is brought to the fore. As lawyers, the rules of our profession, which bind us up with the discharge of a fivefold duty to the client, the court, the opponent, to the lawyer's own self, and ultimately to the state, as stated by Lord Macmillan, a former Advocate General of Scotland and former member of the House of Lords, are founded on integrity and place us in a position to ensure the maintenance of high standards in public life. Colleagues, in my respectful view, the Legal Profession, Professional Conduct and Etiquette Rules 2020, LI 2423, is carefully designed to serve as a signpost for high standards and integrity in the public service for every lawyer. Rule 1 of LI 2423 says that the lawyer's duty to discharge his responsibilities toward the court, the public, and another lawyer honorably and with integrity. In the same rule, we find the lawyer's responsibility in view of the important role of the legal profession in a free democratic society to recognize the diversity of the Ghanaian community, to protect the dignity of individuals, and to respect human rights enforced in the country. Rule 5 of LI 2423 teaches us that the representation by a lawyer, that lawyer is, and I quote, a representative of a client, an officer of the legal system.
I was listening to our Lady Chair on ensuring that you have the competencies to be in the place that you are put. And I was reminding myself of recent conversations when people would say to me, "You have held up. You have done well in this onslaught." And I realized that what has held me up is the assurance of competence. Simply, no decision that I have made in my role as Chief Justice or in my capacity as President of a panel of the Supreme Court has come from anything but a knowledge of law. No matter how many noises are made, the law is the law. And the only answer one can give to all the hand-waving is the legal answer, unless we want something else. But I am quite sure that Ghana as a society is not looking for Chief Justices that bend and give them something other than law. And therefore, here I am. Everyone gets the law. I was listening to
All right, so you're live on Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. This show is also live on 94.1 FM. That's on your radio dial. It's crystal clear, 94.1 FM. So in case you want to move out of your home, you still want to monitor the conversations that take place here, please feel free to tune to 94.1 FM. Now, before I introduce my guests who have taken their seats, let me just remind you that Polytank, Papano, Ankasa. Charlie, this is Ghana. You can only get deceived if you're not sure of what you're buying or you don't really know the market. When it comes to water storage tanks, the name we all know is Polytank. It has been with us for over 30 years and has been trusted by all these generations. Make no mistake, always choose Polytank for guaranteed quality. It's available at the same price across the country at Polytank partner shops. Now, be it Rambo, Hippo, Sumo, or Super Sumo, durability is always assured. Polytank, the original, always the best. Papano, Ankasa. So Polytank does not request for Momo payments, so just so you are aware. Also, Blue Jeans Energy Drink, my favorite Blue Jeans Energy Drink, is proudly associated with the Good Morning Ghana program. Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been on the Ghanaian market for more than 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients, vitamin B2, vitamin B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which essentially are known to boost your strength and energy, as well as promote high performance and endurance. So Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been tested, it's been tried. We know it. We can testify that it's indeed the best on the Ghanaian markets. It's in shops nationwide, so please call these numbers in case you want to buy them in bulk. So for bulk purchases, call 0208 128 190, 0208 128 190, or 055 001 055-001-000. So one of my guests is here, and I'll shortly be introducing him. Now he's very familiar with this program. You're familiar with him as well. I'm talking about the man, the Honorable Kojo Chumboafo. Kojo Chumboafo is now the acting CEO of the Financial Intelligence Center. Kojo, good morning. It's good to see you. And how are you? Kojo, good morning.
Good morning,
it's
sir.
Good to see
How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well too.
Oh, I'm doing great under the circumstances.
Yeah.
Yes, fantastic.
How's your new office?
It's good. Good. Took me a little bit of time to get to grips with it, but it's okay. I'm a quick learner.
The little I know about how your office works, it looks like you really need to be tough. You need to be strong.
Yes.
You have to really have, both emotionally and physically to be able to, and psychologically to be able to do that work.
I'm challenged.
You're challenged.
I'm challenged. So I'm up to it. I'm up to the challenge.
I don't have any doubt.
President Mahama has asked me to do something very important, something that's very pivotal to his government, and I'm up to it.
Are you able to sleep with the kinds of information that you come across?
I try. But I also have some good sleeping pills when I need to take it. Yeah, there are some very scary things that people are going to hear and they will not like it so much. But I'm just doing my job. Those who need to tell you will tell you about what has happened in the last 8 years.
I'm sure sometimes you weep.
No, I want justice. And I think that the Ghanaian people deserve justice from what has happened to them, what has happened to their welfare. The people who have put them where they've put them need to be brought to book. And that is what we all need to support, not just people like me, everybody. So right off the bat, I'm surprised that Kamaldeen has shown up here with a T-shirt again, because what he should be doing this morning is to apologize to Ghanaians for where they have put us. Yesterday, you should have heard your former boss, Dr. Randy Abbey.
Oh, Dr. Randy Abbey.
Who has been given the unenviable task of reviving our cocoa industry. And what he has been saying, if you've heard any excerpts of it, you should be running to the hills. These people imported $48 million worth of jute sacks just prior to leaving office, when they hadn't cleared jute sacks they imported from 2022 to present. And 48 million. They have almost like over 80,000 bills still sitting in warehouses that they haven't cleared. So the scandals and the criminality that went on in this country was not just at ECG. Go back and look for it. And Kamaldeen has shown up here in a T-shirt. He is going to go and demonstrate for the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice is an MPP member. Is she an MPP member?
Okay.
You don't have any shame.
Yeah.
If I were you, I wouldn't have sat here with a T-shirt. Yeah. You have poked the bear today. You should never have come here with that T-shirt. The Chief Justice is not an MPP member, so you are showing your hand already. When Auntie Dante was sitting in the Jubilee House, even though he didn't fall, what did he and his Holy Spirit and the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, what were they doing in that Jubilee House there?
But Kojo, they're concerned that there's an attack on the judiciary.
What is the attack on the judiciary began when Akufo-Addo came to office.
How?
The attack on Article 72 holders in this country began when Akufo-Addo came to office. The attack on the judiciary began when Akufo-Addo was put 97 people in the judiciary. Are you aware that towards the end of his reign, and I call it his reign because he ran this country like an Udikro, are you aware that even the General Legal Council stopped him and said, no more, don't bring any more judges?
Yeah.
Right? Yesterday, I heard, and I'm sure we'll get there. You see, these people have gone and ginned up a narrative that President Mahama is trying to get a third term. How absurd, by appointing judges. The same people whose Attorney General wrote to the president that they needed more judges. Or is it because this time it's President Mahama who appointed jurists, proper jurists this time, and not his former, what do you call it, parliamentary candidates, people who were once on trial for murder, etc., etc. You put all of them on the Supreme Court, and you are saying that President Mahama should not appoint Supreme Court judges because why? People didn't vote for him. Enjoy your micro minority. You should never have shown up here with this T-shirt. It's obnoxious and odious.
Let me introduce the other guest who's joined us. He's representing the MPP. He's a deputy communications director of the New Patriotic Party, and also a former consul general of Ghana to Saudi Arabia. That's the man Kamaluddin Abdullahi. Kamal, assalamu alaikum, my brother. I hope you're well.
Salam, my good brother. How are you?
I'm doing very well, and it's always good to see you.
And I will say good morning to the cherished viewers out there. Good morning to my brother Chumbuafo. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I was hoping to see you.
I have not been able to congratulate him.
I was hoping to see you and laugh with you, but you have shown up with the wrong attire.
I have not been able to congratulate him since he assumed office as the head of the financial intelligence. You see,
all these nice attires that you brought from Saudi Arabia.
Could you let's have a conversation this morning. I want to say good morning to him and of course to my brothers out there. You see, this game called politics and this enterprise called governance, okay, are interrelated. And that's what we should know and accept. No political party in this country, campaigns with all the promises, okay, without the intention of coming to churn out good governance. No political party. And in fact, rightly so, our constitution, which is the mother law of this country, enjoins us to do so. So, we should all establish and agree to the fact that it is a going concern and it will always be. Ghana is at stake. Political parties are at stake. Okay?
Right.
Now, political parties being at stake should always have at the back of their minds that what is more important and significant or imperative has to do with the development of Ghana. The evolution that we're going through, what can we do to ameliorate it? What can we do to make it better? What can we do so that the ordinary person who is not even aligned to political party, who's apolitical, indeed enjoys or indeed accepts that there's good governance in the air? That's basically what it is. So in as much as we have that relationship, party politics or partisan politics, and then we have governance, we should also at a point acknowledge that everybody has a right, okay? Like this morning, me donning this T-shirt. I have my right, that is my right to attire, my right to cover myself, my right to send a message out which is positive. So, Kojo cannot sit here and tell me why am I wearing this T-shirt or why am I not wearing that shirt or why am I not dressed in this manner or situation. I think he has his liberties to protect, the fundamental human rights to protect. I also have mine.
You have a right to show up bare-chested. Maybe you should.
Yeah, I do. That's what I'm right to do now. You understand? I do. However, so I'm happy you buttressed the point. So tomorrow, it is a good, saying we are having this morning. Just not too long ago, Kojo was on the streets, busy demonstrating, and the galamsey and all that. We've used our money for cathedral. Now the cathedral is the biggest swimming pool in the world. Kojo was part of it.
Or is that a lie?
You understand? No.
Is it a lie?
Dr.
Baumia, you see, you are busy yourself.
You see,
what were the things Dr. Baumia was saying just 3 days ago?
I am trying to tell you
Come
that.
on, please.
What you did?
I won't let you land on this one. No, you are saying that I was demonstrating about cathedral. What did Dr. Baumia say 3 days ago?
About Galam
3 days ago. Please, be the adjudicator. What did Dr. Baumia say 3 days ago?
To be fair,
when he was highlighting the things that lost them the election, what did he say?
This morning.
Yeah, but please allow him to.
Allow me. You see, just not too long.
Land, but don't fall.
Kojo decided to invoke the provisions of Article 21 of this country.
Yeah.
Okay? Which gives him and his party and everyone in this country the right to stand up for what we think is wrong. Provided it's within the law. He used it.
Okay.
Today, Kamal Dean, the New Patriotic Party, other political parties have come together and then think that there is something happening in this country that we all need to speak up against. In this case, pointing negative fingers at the judiciary of this country.
Right.
That's how it is. Look, we have 3 arms of government in this country.
Okay.
The executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. So much enshrined in our constitution.
Yeah.
And if you take Article 57 of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, you would find out the importance of the Chief Justice, i.e. the judiciary, the head of the judiciary. The presidency starts from the president, the vice president, and then it follows to the Speaker of Parliament, and after the Speaker of Parliament, it goes to the Chief Justice. It tells you how important that office is. And to add up, when my brother, God forbid, is in trouble, either somebody wants to disturb him on civil count, the only place he can find solace and run to and believe that the person going to sit for the adjudication is going to tilt towards the law, not to the party or to him, is the judiciary. The same would apply to me. God forbid, should today somebody charges him for any criminal act, which I don't even see coming at all, the only place he can go to defend himself properly is the courts. But see, what's this argument about? Akufo-Addo appointed judges. Akufo-Addo packed the courts, whatever. On the eve of the campaign, or during the campaign, our president, the president of the Republic of Ghana now, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, is on record to have said that, to have made reference to the Constitutional Review Committee's findings, that having over 15 justices at the Superior Court was high, and that it amounted to court packing. Today you've come to meet 13. You've just added 7 within 4 months.
12.
What?
It's 12.
You've
He's added
12.
7. Yes.
No,
it's
12.
It's 12. He's added 7.
It's 12. He's added 7.
Yes, that makes it 19.
Okay, 19.
Yes.
Making it 19. Okay? Beyond what you even thought that you referred to as the part of the work of the Constitutional Review Committee, that 15 was too much. That is not even the subject matter.
Yes.
What I'm trying to say is that the sanctity of the judiciary, the sanctity of our judicial system, must always be seen to be preserved by all of us. That is why I'm saying Moro, myself, and whoever is watching me this morning has no place to go for justice to be delivered to him or her aside the courts. And this argument of the president appointed, Akufo-Addo appointed, Akufo-Addo is not, look, since the inception of the Fourth Republican Constitution, we've had presidents. From President Rawlings to President J. Kufuor, to President Atamos, to President John Dramani Mahama, to President Akufo-Addo, now back to President John Dramani Mahama. The Constitution per Article 144, okay, allows them to appoint justices of the Superior Courts. Read it. Including chairman of the tribunal if you do have. The Constitution allows them. So tell me, which president did not appoint a justice? In fact, the acting Chief Justice now, Justice Bafuboni, was appointed by President Kufuor. Okay? Nobody is calling him names, and nobody will call him names. He was appointed based on merits, based on the journey he had gone through in the judicial system. And I want to believe that the revered former president, John Adjei Kufuor, saw that in him and appointed him. Not he alone. President Rawlings appointed series of justices. In fact, even President Rawlings, when you read most of the cases, MPP versus Attorney General, MPP versus this on 31st December, on Silver case, you will realize that President Rawlings even appointed justices sided with the law rather than siding with him. So that tells you that the journey is said that we should be careful. That is why I sided with the TUC argument yesterday. When the chairman of the TUC said, look, let's tread cautiously. It's not about President Mahama. Look, government will come and go. I've mentioned so many presidents. President Mahama will come and go. There will be another president, whether we like it or not. Okay? President Akufo-Addo is gone after 8 years. You can make all the noise, do whatever. His term is up. Okay, like, those who will praise him will praise him. Those who will say he didn't do well, he didn't do well. Okay. But what is important is that the constitution lying before us, if there's something untoward that you feel is not proper, you have to speak to it. Speak to it. Okay. What did the Constitution say per Article 146 about the processes of removing a justice of a Superior Court, especially the Supreme Court? In this case, even the Chief Justice. The Constitution enjoins you to do that in camera. Today, the matter is out there.
But whose fault is it?
Who put it out? Whose fault is who? Who can we blame?
Whose fault is
who put it out? I'm saying that who are you have to blame? Who are you blaming? Who is supposed to be in authority to ensure that I am safeguarding the sanctity of the provision?
If I write to you,
who is the one?
Come on.
That's an allegation. So who do we blame? Cannot allege that the woman herself brought it.
Nobody has alleged anything. You are the one. You are asking your own question and answering.
I am saying that, and that's what there's an authority.
Don't allow Kamaldeen. No. You are allowing Kamaldeen to set his own questions and answer them. If I write to you, right, between you and I, and the letter comes out between you and I, somebody put it out. So don't come and sit here and pretend as if it's the person who wrote the letter.
First of all, you didn't write to the person. First of all, let's get it first. First of all, you didn't write to the person.
I am setting the context because what you are doing, like what you people have been doing over the last 3 years, over the last 3 days, is you have gone to sleep and you are ginning up reasons to come up with what you want to do. More. On May, hold on.
Because he didn't finish.
No. Because
listen, don't worry.
The Chief Justice.
But he didn't finish.
Don't have your time. I don't know why.
I want him to set the proper context for his arguments.
Don't worry. I will.
The Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo has justified her recommendation to President Akufo-Addo to consider 5 judges for the Supreme Court.
Yes.
According to the Chief Justice, the Supreme Court needs more judges to handle the overwhelming number of cases currently before it. This comes after a letter by the CJ to the President was circulated in social media. And then subsequent to that, hold on, because you are talking about leakages. Subsequent to that,
what is driving that?
The Attorney General has backed the Chief Justice's request for the appointment of 5 more justices to the Supreme Court. According to Godfrey Dame, the move will minimize delays, reduce unnecessary expenses, and contribute to the overall efficient administration of the court. This also comes after that particular memo was also circulated in the media. So don't come and sit here and create the impression that circulating media, stuff in the media comes from only one direction. Or indeed, if it is so, because Kamaldeen, you are very clever. That is the input. Today I am on you like a hawk. I am not going to allow you to obfuscate anything. Tell the truth so that we will all be free here.
That's why when he made the comment, I asked him, I said, so who's responsible for it and whose fault is it? And so I was actually waiting for an answer.
I am saying that we have a duty to ensure that due process of the law or due process is properly followed. Should you have been given the duty to do so?
Has President Mahama not followed the due process in Article 146? Has he done anything that commands Article 146?
I know you don't like to be heckled when you're talking, so please don't do it to him. Please go ahead. Come on, please go ahead.
You see, first of all, I asked the question as to how did this whole thing get into the media.
Okay.
And that is what brought about
So is it meant to be a rhetorical question?
Yes, and I'm going to refer to an instance.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, how did you get to a level where someone had to go to the Supreme Court to question the process in the first place?
Yes.
Before the office of the president would be like, we did not even give the petition to the person we were supposed to give to the
No, but that's
Wait a minute. That's not true. I am saying, no, it was not. The person, you see, we all know is that it's right that there has been. Look, Supreme Court decisions are binding on all of us, and it's as good as laws.
Yes.
And there have been decisions by the Supreme Court, especially in the Ejechum case, which has actually been all out there.
Yes.
That look, if a justice is actually set off, or if he set off to remove a judge, the petitions that is asking or demanding his or her removal ought to serve the person as well. And the question I ask. Now, when the matter went to the to the Council of State, before it went to the Council of State, when the petition was received, was she actually in copy?
Yes.
Was she written too?
Yes.
No. It was after. Check the process. You are in.
Yes, I know.
It was after.
Was Charlotte Osei ever giving? Was Charlotte Osei ever, when she asked for it, was she not told by the
Could you let's have a conversation?
We're having a conversation.
Good. So let's do that. When I'm not, you come. You see, when we do this, we will not be doing good to our viewers.
Otherwise, he can't flow.
We cannot do that. He's flowing. Please. So I'm saying that.
So you're interpreting the process.
The process was even in question in the first place.
I
have not gone into the matter. I don't have it. I don't have any petition before me. Right. I don't really know what it is. What matters is that what does the law says per the process.
Okay.
The law said this.
Yes.
And then, of course, at the point, did we have a setback? Yes, and I'm saying we had a setback. Which setback? I thought that the person in question was not served even with the petitions.
Okay.
Then the person wrote to the presidency. I've just heard something in the media that I'm going to do. That is where I have a problem.
Okay.
And that is where every reasonable person watching, we don't just need lawyers alone to say this. Sometimes we just apply the common sense. We'll tell you that this ought to have been done. And the president saw reason in it and said, indeed, let us save.
Did you read?
And give her days to even respond.
But come on, did you read the president's response to her?
About what?
When she wanted to know why the president hadn't served her with a copy or hadn't referred to her for a comment before.
I am saying that. Is it a fact that she wasn't given a copy?
To the
is it a fact that she wasn't given a copy?
No, I get that.
And is it a fact that she was actually given a copy and given days to answer later?
And I'm saying that. Did you read the president's response to her?
And I'm also asking you a simple question.
So as an explanation as to why...
I'm not speaking to the content of what the president said.
Okay.
I'm speaking to a fact that there was a red flag raised. Okay. Which red flag was actually granted and served by the president graciously. I'm saying the president actually did the needful by saying that, look, indeed, fine, this is the petition. I've given you some 10 days. You've asked for 7 days to respond to it. So I'm saying, what actually stopped her in the first place?
The reason why I'm asking whether you've read the president's response is because when you read the president's response, right, the president indicates that we are not there yet.
Yeah.
Your concerns are premature. I have ferried the petition to the Council of State for advice. So it is the Council of State that will tell me what to do next. And the president says, the Council of State now says such, the Council of State has now told me that you have to be given a copy for your input. So from inference, what it tells me is that regardless of whether the CJ had written to the president or not, he still would have given her a copy of it. No. I'm also asking whether have you read the president's response?
See,
in fact,
let's be fair to each other and be fair to the law.
Yes.
I am not for Gertrude, I'm not for anybody, I'm for Ghana.
Yes,
but the point I want to make, what was the reason, for the president ferrying the petitions to the Council of State to establish a prima facie?
Yes.
That is the reason.
But that is an issue.
And I'm saying to look into it and then determine whether or not there was a prima facie case against. That's it.
Right.
And I'm saying if you are ferrying a document on to a body to look into a matter petition against her fairly, natural justice demands that the person ought to be served so that they can determine whether there's a prima facie case.
So your point is that But for the CJ's letter to the president, you're saying that you believe that the president wouldn't have given the CJ an opportunity to make a comment?
There was an occasion that, look, I'm saying that the president at least did not. The fact is that she wasn't served of these petitions.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying that how do you know if she wasn't going to be served?
Yeah, come again.
That's the question. How do you know if she wasn't going to be served?
The process
anyway?
is that go and establish a prima facie case. You need a response from her to buttress it. That's what I'm saying.
And I'm saying to you, and I'm asking, come on,
she never responded.
Yeah, come on, you're not getting my point.
Yes.
Indeed, it is true.
Yeah.
That once the president receives the petition, he is supposed to consult the Council of State,
yes.
right? To ask and to basically ask whether there's an issue, right? Now, even before that process had ended or had completed, the CJ then writes to the president and says that I am aware that you have some petition due with you, and I don't have a copy of that petition, so I don't even know what is in there. And then the president writes to her and says, oh, but your request is even premature because I'm yet to even hear from the Council of State. In any case, why did you even put out your letter to me? Because we all know that this process is supposed to be an in-camera process. So by putting the letter out, you have violated the same constitution that you believe or the same law that you are grounding your request to me, which is show me the petition and let me make an input. Because it's supposed to be in-camera.
No,
hold on. So the president talks about her concerns being premature.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that it stands to reason that perhaps, and just perhaps, the president had intentions of ferrying the letter to her for input even before a proper prima facie case is established. That's the point I'm making. So for you to say
now,
no, but for you to say no, but you are suggesting no. The reason I'm saying this because you are suggesting from your commentary or from your submission this morning that, but for the CJ, the president would have done that. Wouldn't have sent a copy of the petition to her for her to have a look. That's the point. That's what I'm coming.
I believe.
May I butt into this love fest between the two of you?
No, we're going to end in the next few minutes. We're going to end in the next few minutes so that you can come in. Otherwise,
let me ask Kamadi.
Yes.
Which part of Article 146 says that the president should send the petition to the Chief Justice before it goes?
It is not there.
Before it goes to
it is not there. But here's the issue. Because of the Franke J. Chung and the Attorney General's case. And you know the lawyers will tell you that decided cases, case law is as equally good as the Constitution.
Yes,
so, and that's where it's coming from.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Why then and don't tell me because the CJ is different. Why was Charlotte Osei not given the petition against her?
That was unfair.
But why was she told? And she was actually written to by the Chief Justice and told, go to the hearing and get a copy of the petition.
That was wrong. I get that. That was wrong. But here's the thing. So, come on, are we on the same page?
I am saying,
so let's move on because I don't want us to.
We're not having a
yes, we litigate this matter.
What is the process? When you see, and that is why even Article 296 is clear. That's why the Bar Association is making that argument. That if you have a discretion, ensure that fairness and rules of natural justice indeed is seen in your exhibition in terms of churning out your discretion.
Okay.
It's clear. And I'm saying that he asked a simple question. Why, where in Article 146 is the president mandated to have given copies of it to the Chief Justice?
Before it goes to the Council of State, add that. I said today you won't get away
to trigger the process.
Yes.
You need a Council of State.
Yes.
And in the course of the process, okay, this is all part of the process of removing the Chief Justice. Now, for it to get there, for the prima facie case to be established, the person when you receive a petition against, okay, ought to be given a copy that, look, this is your a complaint against you. We are giving it to the Council of State to see to it whether or not there is a prima facie case against you. If you have your comments, right. That all this is in camera, anyway.
Okay. Yes.
We shouldn't have known all this.
Yes.
But I'm saying there was a flaw. A citizen of this country went to court, which case is said to be, to be heard anyway. Went to court to question that process and cited the Adjechum case.
Okay.
Now, having cited that, then the Chief Justice also wrote and said, I've heard this in the media about myself. That's how the whole thing went.
Okay.
And I'm saying, if for the first time we are having this, in the first instance, we are having these setbacks, what then arises is what is the motive?
Okay.
Okay? What is the motive? Why fairness? Why the natural justice? Why the writing to her properly for her response wasn't done in the first place?
Okay.
These are questions some people will ask.
Okay.
You understand? So basically,
he's about to land.
I am landing on this matter. And to land, I want us to think that, look,
yes,
we sitting here, we are guided by this constitution. The constitution allows me respite and allows him respite and everybody here in this country. And the same constitution per Article 3 tells me, defend it and defend this constitution. If you think there's something untoward, you can only defend it by using the legitimate means.
Okay.
And what is the legitimate means? If we have decided we want to demonstrate, if we have decided to cite errors in the process, okay, and therefore we want the whole world to see it,
okay,
and other bodies have actually come to join, like the GBA, like the TUC yesterday,
okay,
and like even a member of the Council of State, Madam Justice Sophia Kufu, she said, look, the process to remove the Chief Justice is unfair. This is Supreme Court justice before. And as a result, we are told by the same NDC commentator who said, well, I don't know, who said that she even abstained in the voting. She recused herself. And I think been out.
Who said that? I have never heard
I have heard a lot of communicators of NDC.
I've never heard it. Kamadin is not interested in landing. He is still on cruise control. So land him and let me have my say.
So I'm saying that I've
never heard anybody say that.
That she
let's just assume that the Chief Justice has all out. Do you abstain?
Knowledge.
Let's just wait. Let's just assume she abstained, and we were not there to know, right? The Council of State consists of a plurality of people.
31 members.
31 members.
Yes.
30 members said she has a case. The Chief Justice has a case to answer. One member
says no.
Who was her colleague on a judiciary, on a Supreme Court, abstained. How does that not tell you, if I want to raise a contrarian argument, that she was so disgusted and found what her colleague was being accused of distasteful? Wait, Article 146 in and of itself is shrouded in opacity. If you want to change Article 146, you know what to do. So what happened to the president of the country being a conveyor belt? I am quoting the ex-president of this country, Akufo-Addo, who says he's only a conveyor belt. Which part of Article 146 has President Mahama flouted? When you say it, they don't have an answer. And then they come and talk about the spirit of the law. The same spirit of the law that made you go and lock an Auditor General's office and come back 3 years later and say the process was flawed. The same spirit of the law that made you remove an electoral commissioner without giving her the very petition that you're asking to be given to a Chief Justice. Look, let me tell you a little secret. Let me tell you a little secret. The Chief Justice taught me English in Atwater School. From 4 and Form 5. I did very well in English language and English literature. Okay? So I am not one person who is going to sit here and say anything adverse about her. Right? A process has begun against her. That process has not been adjudicated.
No, nobody has said that.
Exactly. A committee has been set up to deal with the process. For all we know, tomorrow, the Chief Justice will come out white as snow and resume her position. So why are you people beginning by saying that the president is looking for a third term? That's why I want you to
have not said so.
No, you haven't said it. Your minority.
I have not said so.
Your micro minority.
It's all over the
Have you not heard the micro minority leader, the master of micro minutia, Honorable Afenyo?
Yeah, but he said that he personally disagrees with that.
No, but I'm talking about why you are here. Save the judiciary. What are you saving the judiciary from? When the process is in, you see, if the Chief Justice has been removed unceremoniously, uncircumstantially, without due process, and you are sitting here with the black T-shirt, I'll ask you for a copy of the black T-shirt so I can also wear it.
Okay.
I'm saying that there's a process going on. And you have already assumed the position, and you made a comment here that the process is for the removal of the Chief Justice. No, the process is because a prima facie case has been established against her according to law by the Council of State. You are citing the abstention of one person out of 30.
Not just only abstention, but the comment by her.
I said Article 146 in and of itself.
Her comment as well.
Article 146 is shrouded in opacity. It was done for a reason. When you people decided, the NPP decided, and the NPP and the Ghana Bar Association decided to boycott the Constituent Assembly because you claimed it was hairdressers and laborers.
Could you gone past this?
No, you haven't gone past it.
You've gone past
You
this.
want to go past it.
No.
I've told you today, I'm on you
You've gone
like
past
a
this.
hawk. You can choose to be the chicken, and I will be the hawk. You see, Moro,
yes.
A few days ago, on this very show,
yeah,
I had never seen it before in 32 years. I saw Samoku Jeto, the then chairman of the Ghana Bar Association, confess that it was a mistake for Ghana Bar Association to have boycotted the Constituent Assembly because he said at that time we thought it was hairdressers and laborers and ordinary people. Who's an ordinary person? The hairdressers, they don't pay taxes. The newsreel is here. Ask Annie to play it for everybody to see it. So some of the things you are complaining about could have been addressed at the time. I said Article 146 in and of itself is shrouded in opacity. So if a president is following it, let him follow it. And to quote the ex-president of this country, thankfully now ex-president, President Akufo-Addo, he said the president is just a conveyor belt. Why can't President Mahama too be a conveyor belt? Are you people the only conveyor belts in this country? The Ghanaian people spoke very loudly in the last election. They spoke very loudly.
Just like they spoke in 2016.
But never before.
Oh.
Never before.
It was so loud. So
never before since
the
1992 Constitution was promulgated has an opposition party been reduced from government to micro-minority. Minutia.
To mighty minority.
You are not mighty in any way, shape, or form. What you are is you are micro, right? The NDC
to mighty
as a
minority.
body, the NDC party in Parliament today can enact legislation without you, but they are not even doing that. You understand?
They don't even go to Parliament.
No, they are. Hold on. I wouldn't know that. You and I both tried to go to Parliament.
They don't even go to Parliament.
You and I both tried to go to Parliament. We failed. So keep quiet.
We will get there.
And allow
right
Parliament to do your work. The president is enjoined by this constitution to do exactly what he's doing. Before the process has been expensed, you people are already in t-shirts, trying to claim that the president is trying to remove the Chief Justice. Where did the president tell anybody he was trying to remove the Chief Justice?
Who says that now?
The president doesn't have, the Constitution does not allow a president to remove a Chief Justice. But you are not saying it. You are not saying it. I said the same way. You
so what's the action for?
The action is because the president has received a petition. No, in fact, 3 or 5 as we speak?
5.
And his
5
job
petitions, yeah.
is to forward it to the Council of State for their comments on how they feel about it. That is what the president is supposed to do. Like you rightly said, there are procedures for removing a president in this country. There are procedures for removing a Speaker of Parliament in this country. There are procedures for removing a Chief Justice in this country. And it is for the right reasons. You see, you understand what a plebiscite is, right? Well, plebeians are ordinary people. It is the framers of our constitution, God bless their souls, were ordinary people. They were not people who are as complicated as you, right? So they went and sat there and they used reasonability to write a document that we have lived by since 1992. This document here is something that we have governed ourselves by since 1992, and so far, so good. We are supposed to be reviewing it. For those of you who don't like what is in it, go and change it, or go and amend it. Don't come and sit here and lie about President Mahama, because that's exactly what you're doing. And I've told you, I will not allow you to besmirch. You people have done enough. No. You people have besmirched the reputation of President Mahama enough. Okay. And
you were not able to veer off.
Hold on. And Providence is completely Moro. You know something? When President Mahama was leaving power in 2016, he said posterity will judge him. And throughout history, there are many people who have not been judged in their lifetime. President Mahama's posterity has judged him in 8 short years, and the people of Ghana have given him a ringing endorsement. You will not besmirch his reputation again whilst we are sitting here. The president has not. I want you to admit on this program that the president has not done anything to remove a chief justice. He has been the same conveyor belt that Akufo-Addo was for Charlotte. Say, admit that and let's move on.
Come on.
You won't get away with it. I told you from the get-go. You will not get away with anything today.
You see, I didn't come
and
here. Before coming here, I never called my brother to tell him, look, I need some schooling as to what to come and see and what not to come and see.
You don't need schooling.
Yes.
You need to be told the truth.
And I did not. And I refused. I refused. I refused on anything.
I'm not your teacher.
This is very unlike you. I don't know what to do. You decided to
you see, and I refuse to be that, to be intimidated, as it were, or to be intimidated. I refuse this to be intimidated before this man.
Look at you.
Moro, what we have to do as a country, like he raised this constitution and cited it as the apex law of this country.
Yes.
And more importantly, we all have a duty to protect it.
Yes.
And even added that, look, for 32 years or so, we're using this document to guide us, okay, in our democracy. That is exactly what we all need to do. Emotions can be there, but of course, emotions are not law. Interest can be there, but your interest is not the law. The law is the law. Kamal is not actually above the law, and I will never be. The same way my brother is not. And it's a very law that guides all political parties. That's why I started by saying political parties, we have our interests that guides us and tells us that by Article 55, we should actually even operate it within the principles of democracy. And I'm saying that all of us have a duty to question a process that we feel is not proper. That is why I cited TUC, I cited GBA, and I cited the former Chief Justice when she talks about fairness not being adhered to. And I cited Article 296, which talks of discretion and fairness and natural justice. Okay. I'm saying that we sit here. All of us are supposed to do it. Look, if my brother was on the other side of the divide, like I am this morning, trust me, he would have done worse. He would have bastardized. Even Akufo-Addo didn't do it. They are questioning him for even appointing judges. Okay? They are even questioning him for appointing judges. And any judge that Akufo-Addo appointed to them is MPP. So am I supposed to also argue that any judge or justice that President Mahama appoints is NDC? No, that shouldn't be the case. That is why I said Rawlings even appointed justices, and the justices came to court and then had cases against him.
Okay, so Kamal, let me ask
you. So a point I want to make is
I'm wondering.
In Akufo-Addo's era, how many cases did he
do? So Kamal, what exactly did you want? So what exactly did you want? I beg you. Kamal, I beg you.
Yes.
What exactly did you want the president to do?
No, you see, I have not said
that some Ghanaians are breaking a petition to the president, expressing some concerns or raising some issues with the Chief Justice. Are you saying the president should have collected it and thrown the thing to the dustbin?
Not at all.
What did you want him to do? Because I get the impression that the president, from the concerns that you have raised, that he's done something wrong.
You see, there is somebody who made this argument of establishing the law, and I'm happy. I'll keep on repeating this Article 296 about discretion, about how we have to also ensure that even in your discretion, there must be fairness, because there has been there's a plethora of cases where the court decides that yes, you had a discretion, but your actions and inactions towards that process was wrong.
Yes,
you understand. Now, how is that fairness and natural justice impugned? How is that actually cited?
Where has the president been unfair to the process?
With a great respect, you've asked the question I'm asking. You see, reasonable suspicion. Okay, likelihood of bias.
Yes.
Reasonable suspicion.
Yes.
Likelihood of bias.
Yes.
Are all processes that lawyers object to. And there are, like I said, there are a plethora of cases I can raise. I remember in the Salah case, for instance, which is read by any level 100.
Don't worry.
Where they will say that level objection was raised that the justices were friends to even the person who was in court.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Likelihood of bias. Allow the court to determine. I am saying explicitly, subjectively, nobody is saying that President Mahama is wrong.
Okay.
President Mahama didn't write a petition.
Yes.
Somebody wrote a petition.
Right.
Okay. What are the content what we saw? Okay. Even though it's not supposed to be the issue.
Yes.
I don't even know what we saw and read out there.
Yes.
But have you read some of the petitions, the purported petitions?
Well, I've read something where people claim it's a petition. I don't know whether it's a fact.
But I'm saying that
I've read
on the face of what we read, excuse me, even on the face of what we read.
You asked a very important question that Kamaldeen doesn't want to answer.
Oh, why?
Let's just assume that President Mahama, hold on, if President Mahama has sat on the petitions, would he not have been going against his oath? The oath he took.
No, he could be impeached.
Oh, no, of course.
I am saying
that.
He's violated
so
the Constitution.
when you sit here, you see, ask the NPP and Kamaldeen what constitutes fairness to them, and they won't be able to give you an answer.
All right, so
Kamaldeen has not been able to give you an answer.
All right, so
what he does is he asks a question and then he answers the question.
We'll take a breather. Kamaldeen will come back here. When we come back, Kamaldeen will give me the answer. No, when I come back, I'll give you the chance to.
He knows the answer.
MGL Logistics and Supply is your trusted partner, providing seamless solutions for all your procurement needs. From sourcing products to managing imports and exports, we ensure smooth and efficient transactions every step of the way. Whether you require goods from across the globe or need assistance in exporting your products to international markets, we got you covered. General trading is at the heart of our expertise. We specialize in a wide range of products, catering to various industries and markets. As a trusted dealership in building materials, we provide high-quality products that meet the demands of our construction projects. Additionally, we act as manufacturers' representatives, connecting producers with distributors. Our expertise in logistics is the backbone of our operations. We plan and execute transportation and delivery of goods, ensuring they reach their destination on time and in optimal condition. MGL Logistics and Supply, guaranteed satisfaction.
Michelle say, fe.
Different era, better result. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Charcoal Toothpaste, healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Chocolate Toothpaste. Sankofa.
Yenchi. Kel Chocolate Toothpaste.
Happy Smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
Where to get Polytank?
Oh, and you're a fine.
Go straight.
No, I want left, right.
That's right. Ghana na ye wono. So when you do more, any a data. Who knows? Abe, na here. Me pe Polytank ato. Enu nti na menu aba otu ko bia be na ba ha yo. Ofu to bia e de entwa ye kura.
Akuya bulambu kotoman. Emu ha.
Like they take you by so. Go to the distributor and you give the original Polytank. You get a sound?
Polytank. Papananka Sankasa.
I'm a brand manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
Cratchy, unemu bua unkoisha Dr. Ban uye denwa.
Oh, Missy Yamfan come and me burua.
Mami Doburo. Don't you tell me bra. Mummy Yamfan ko Dr. Ban ho. Dr. Ban o ya de. Bra, se ban no mpemu adwuma sasabro slow. Dr. Ban o ye.
Say ni kemi kwa na meka. Oh no mpemu nimdi ono na ye expert nya zanfo no. O akra eni kumasi no mpemu expert yen kan kire o.
Yes, you're still live on Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. And the show, once again, I remind you, is live on 94.1. Kojo Chumbuafu is here. He's the acting CEO of the Financial Intelligence Center and also one of the leading members of the NDC. And also joining us is Kamal Ideen. Kamal Ideen is Deputy Communications Director of the NPP. And we're having a conversation on the back of the CJ's suspension and matters arising. And there's been quite a heated debate here. Kojo today was a bit, he worried his friend small. But he says it's a friendly fight, so we should bear with him. But let me just read this quickly from a very good friend, Echo. Kakra Samwa. He's watching the show. And he says that Moro, I'm tired and sick of the comments of the MPP broadcasters on appointments yet to be made by President Mahama to the Supreme Court. Why didn't they make the same arguments when Akufo-Addo appointed over 120 ministers? Many years ago, I attended a lecture by the then Supreme Court Judge, Justice NYB Adade, in which he asserted that a lawyer is just a businessman with special skills because, under the Constitution, non-lawyers can appear before any court to present their case. I agree with the late Justice Adade. Unfortunately, just too many lawyers have assumed airs and a desire for special treatment that, as human beings with normal human weaknesses, they don't deserve. The future is pregnant. That's coming from Kakra, is Samoa. And Bob Bachman, who is one of Alan Chemanson's strategists, he says, Afenyoki and MP's cacophonous theatrics deserve utter contempt. GM is playing according to the rules better than Anado, so they should keep quiet, sit back and enjoy the game. If Akufo-Addo could appoint 12 Supreme Court judges and even sought to add 5 more, then John Mahama, acting within his constitutional mandates, must be allowed to appoint 7. As our elders say, even the one who cuts off heads fears to sleep on his back. And the MPP, having used the court for its parochial agenda, now fears the NDC will do same. That's from Ebo Bachman. So if you look at, come on, I'll bring you, don't worry, I'll give you the chance to talk. But I'm saying that the New Crusading Guide has different renditions or different angles to the story. It says, attempt to oust Chief Justice calculated as assault on judicial independence, revoke Chief Justice's suspension immediately, coalition of political parties to Mahama, suspending Chief Justice Ketin Reza for Mahama's third term bid, minority caucus. Now, the two of you have spoken, you've spoken a lot on these various angles. So I'll take your final comments and then we can move on to some other things. I mean, your campaign tour is gathering steam. Sorry, your thank you tour is gathering steam, and some issues have come up. Yes.
We, like you said, we've flogged this matter extensively, and our position will remain that, look, we are doing all this legitimately.
Okay.
First of all, embarking on a demonstration.
It's happening on Monday?
Yeah, on Monday, yeah. On Monday, we wrote to the police, we've received, actually, we'll start with even with the police for the route. We've accepted, we've agreed to pitch, to convene at the forecourt, or not the forecourt per se, but right in front of the Supreme Court of Ghana. There's this park. That's where we're going to have our starting point, and we shall be presenting a petition at the Supreme Court. Then we head to Parliament and present a petition. Then from Parliament to the Jubilee House to present another petition. There are 3 petitions that we want to present.
All right.
We are doing all this, believing that it is within the law. And that is why I would like to caution anyone who would come join. And I'm urging all Ghanaians to come out. Ghanaians who believe in we assisting to preserve the sanctity of our judiciary. The report you just read about the independence of judiciary seemingly being under attack or being in question. It's some of the reasons why we're saying this. A judge is a judge. Right. We don't have an MPP judge, we don't have an NDC judge.
Okay.
We do not have to call our justices names, like we gave them names some time ago, Unanimous FC and all those things. You can critique their judgment, and that is accepted by law. And also you critique same on the point of laws, or on point of laws, as it were. But you cannot bastardize a judge for actually coming out with a judgment. There have been bad cases. There are bad cases from court. I'm telling you, a judge will give a judgment, and if they critique it, it's as good as saying that somebody who never went to law school went and did the judgment. It happens. You understand? So I'm saying that what we ought to do as a people, whether you are in power or you are in a position, do not allow the Constitution to be fought against. Let us rather defend it, because that's what actually will see us through. President Mahama is president today. Tomorrow is going to be another president. Tomorrow next is going to be another one. That's how it goes. That's how we grow our democracy. So I sit here to say, let me appeal to each and everyone. Do everything within what the law says. Let us not do anything untoward. Let's allow the government to go on. We are not doing anything against the government, but we have the right to demonstrate, just as they had the right to demonstrate yesterday as well.
Okay. Now, let's move on and look at the MPP's quest to reorganize, basically. They are on a what I call a reformatory journey, and a number of things have happened. We know that the Michael Quay's report has been submitted to the Council of the National Council, and right there at that event, we were told that there was going to be a thank you tour. But it appears that this thank you tour has generated considerable media attention and media discussions, because everybody's expressing their opinion as to whether in the first place there should be a thank you tour. And if there's going to be a thank you tour, what form and shape it should take. And sitting here, I see 3 groups emerging. One group that says it's a good idea. Another group that says it's a bad idea. And there's another group that says, well, it's a good idea, but it shouldn't be an apology tour, because that's what you should be focusing on. And of course, those who say, and in fact, there's a 4th group actually, The fourth group that says it's a good idea, but it should have been a Bawumia campaign team going on a thank you tour or an apology tour and not the party. And that's the party's decision to support or to do this sends some kind of impression out there, and so the party should be careful. Now, if you look at today's Daily Guide, we're told that Ken Intim withdraw from NPP thank you tour, and the story is on page 6 of the Daily Guide newspaper. And we know, okay, so the story says that tensions continue to rise within the New Patriotic Party as Kennedy Ohene-Agyapong, former member of Parliament for Asin Central and 2024 presidential primaries runner-up, has abruptly withdrawn from the party's ongoing thank you tour. Mr. Agyapong announced his decision during the Kumasi leg of the nationwide tour, citing violent disturbances involving his supporters and alleged intimidation by party-affiliated security personnel. The incidents, which led to the injury of a student supporter, occurred after a group from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology reportedly joined the tour to show support for Mr. Agyapong by singing party songs. A 1,000 cedis donation from a member of his camp to cover their transport costs allegedly triggered violence when the money was forcibly taken from them by individuals believed to be part of the tour's security detail. The scuffle that ensued resulted in the stabbing of a student and prompted Mr. Agyapong to file a complaint at the South Central Police Station. Addressing the media, Mr. Agyapong explained that he agreed to join the tour after receiving a personal invitation from Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the MP's 2024 presidential candidate. However, he said the violent incident and the atmosphere of tension forced him to step away from the tour with immediate effect. In a related development, Stephen Intim, the NPP's national chairman, has also temporarily withdrawn from the tour in a statement signed by the party's director of communications, Regina Hiagba. The MP said Mr. Intim had taken a short break to attend a pressing matter, but remains committed to rejoining the tour in due course. Come on. Yeah. From where you sit, do you think that this tour is achieving the objective for which it was organized? I mean, in view of all that has happened so far.
Last 2 weeks when I was here, an issue about political parties reorganization and how they should go about it and what they go through after a defeat came up, and myself and our uncle Kwesi Pratt indeed discussed this issue. Yeah. And I started off by saying that, look, first let's take the defeat. It is not only the New Patriotic Party that has suffered defeat since the inception of the Fourth Republican Constitution. Then I said, if you recall, in 2016, when Kojo Nku said we can never and will never be voted for, and that Akufo-Addo can never be president, a lot of comments were made. Little did they know that you do yours and Allah does his. Little did you know that it is only God who ordains and selects a leader. Then, having had President Akufo-Addo voted for and won, and they suffering a very strong defeat. In fact, at that time, a very humiliating one. Their flag bearer then, who is now the President of the Republic of Ghana, made a comment. He said, look, I rode a lame horse into the election, referring to his own political party. That was the comment I made, and it's there. So I'm trying to say that it is not only the NPP that today is seeing such a defeat. Kojo can describe it the way he wants. Whoever is listening to me can describe it the way it is, whether it's whatever. But the most important thing is that we have suffered a very huge defeat, which is quite devastating, which is a worrying sign that demands reflection and introspection and setting back to reorganize our party. Now, in the course of reorganizing the party, remember, this is a human institution. Moro has his suggestion. Kamal has his. That person has his. Whoever is a member of the New Patriotic Party and concerned about what we went through would have some suggestions to make. You don't expect, like that's what they say, opinions. You don't expect all of us to come into the room and say, hey, this is what it is. It's a democratic process. But of course, we are guided by the constitution of the party. Don't do anything outside that constitution. Don't do anything that the laws that governs your own party does not allow you or disallows you to do. That's what we should also be guided by.
Okay.
But unfortunately, and I'll say this, I may be bad. Others who are not supposed to speak are speaking. Others who are not supposed to do things that are supposed to be done. Look, Moro, fundamental question.
Okay.
You ask whether this thank you tour is worth it.
Yeah.
Whether it ought to be carried out. And I answer in the affirmative, yes.
Okay.
Why? Eddie Buahi was our first flag bearer. He had, after we boycotted the parliamentary elections in 1992.
Yes.
After. Okay. Nonetheless, he had calls to go out and then thank party people for the presidential elections. Okay. 1996, President Kufuor did the same.
Okay.
2008, after the election, but my dad passed on 11th of January 2009.
Okay.
Okay, 11th of January. And the Adua was around, 17th or 18th thereabout. His Excellency former President Akufo-Addo, around that time, was on his thank you tour and came to our house, our family house, for my dad's funeral. I remember very well. Jake Obi-Chabilente of blessed memory was part of his team. He was then the chairman of the party. Okay? We had some executives of the party following him. I'm saying that this thank you tour has become more or less a convention for our flag bearers, whether you've won or you haven't won. Okay? You go or you embark on same just to see how you thank the people and then energize the base a bit. Sadly, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, after the elections, wanted to embark on the thank you tour. When we had a meeting because of the defeat and said, we're putting together a committee to go around the country, okay, and ask why such a humiliating defeat. So that they'll make recommendations for the party going forward. In this case, Mark Okoye Committee. Mark Okoye Committee
now is about
because of that, because of the Mark Okoye Committee, then you know how, with all respect, you know how we know Nessa.
Yeah.
He said, look, I was planning to do this thank you tour, but because of this party taking the decision that, look, a committee should go around, I wouldn't like to be kind of, mixing journeys with them. So let me have patience. When they are done with the work after 3 months, then I embark on the thank you tour. I thought that was thoughtful. Indeed, last week when we sat here, we were just about going for National Council meeting. I'm a member of SPOP. Then I mentioned to you that, look, we're going, you asked me whether or not we're going to receive that report.
Yes.
Then I said I cannot tell. Sometimes you get there before the agenda comes. Indeed, when we went, the report was presented. Okay. Then afterwards, then he then announced that, look, I intended to do this thank you tour. Now it's right for me to do it because this was the reason why I couldn't do it. In that meeting, before all of us, we accepted and agreed to his request. Then he went further to say that, look, I want us to be seen as a united party going forward. I'm not a flag bearer, though. I may have intention to contest. I have not declared yet. Others may have intentions. That's not about that. It's about the party going around to thank our executives and thank other people who we thought have helped us. Look, even when DC, John Dramani Mahama has done the same. I remember when he lost in 2016, he went on a thank you tour. When he lost in 2020, he went on a thank you tour.
Except to say that in those instances, it was the Mahama campaign team that put it together.
Yes, I'm saying.
But this time around, it's the party.
This was
is the MPP
listen,
as a political
I'm saying
party.
it was initiated. The proposal was brought forward
by the vice president, the former vice president,
in the meeting
with the support of the party.
Exactly. Then the party said, "Why not? It is good." Then the national executive, there and then, all of them say, "Okay, if you are going on a thank you tour, I think it's worth it. Why not? We can all move together." We took a decision in that meeting. And that happened. Then he went further to say, no, I contested the primaries with some other people. Why don't I extend or don't we extend invitation to them so that they will join and all of us will move on? and that happened. I don't think this is bad. We've gone around. I have my reservation about some of the comments during the thank you tour anyway.
But let me,
that's my personal.
Before you go ahead, you go ahead.
Yes.
The party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, I'm sure knows everybody. All the persons who contested him. Knows about people's temperament. He knows about people's.
No, you can't say that.
No. I'm just making a point.
Okay.
I'm just making. Maybe by the time I land, you understand what I'm saying. What I'm arriving at. I'm saying that at this juncture, okay, for a party that is trying to reorganize after that colossal defeat that they suffered in the 2024 elections, you want unity. Good idea. But in your quest to extend invitations to others who contested, or let's say the losing parties, to join the Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in this thank you tour, you know what everybody is capable of doing and not capable of doing. Did that feature in the thought processes that went into your decision to extend invitation to all and sundry?
I'm not sure you wanted.
Did you get the point I'm making? Yeah, and I know you know where I'm coming from.
No, excuse me. Yes, that's what I'm saying. You cannot say that. You see, what is important is that there is a political party called MPP.
Yes.
What is important is that we went into an election.
Yes.
And there was a candidate for that election.
Yes.
And what is also important is that it is a convention in the party that when we are done, not only the party, most parties even do it.
Yes.
When we are done with the election, we go on a thank you tour.
Fair enough.
Then he decides that, look, wait for 3 months after this work. Time is right. Now I want to go. Let me invite whoever is a party person to join me. It is not for him to say, look, this person I'm inviting, Mr. A or Mr. B, has a temperament that will not actually.
Oh no, come on, Dim. You're not getting my point. You're not getting my point. I'm not saying he should nitpick.
Yes.
I'm not saying he should cherry pick.
Yes.
That's not the point at all. I'm
so
saying that.
What point are you making?
In the whole, in the decision to invite others to join.
Yeah.
Was it something that was deeply thought through? And I'm saying this because look.
But as soon as wrong with saying that, look, we had a problem.
In principle, it's a good idea. Why not? But I'm saying that the mechanics of it, the practicality of it.
Yeah.
Today we're having this discussion because some comments have been made.
Okay.
Right? And your own party people, they call us. And they say, hey, Charlie, this thing, on hindsight, we probably shouldn't have done this. Because listen to what this person is saying. And listen to what this person is saying. It's derailing the essence of why we're doing the thank you talk.
If on hindsight you are talking about the comments, but you're not talking about the thank you tour ought not to have been done.
Oh, no. That's not my point.
I said, I personally, I have my reservation on some comments.
Good.
I said so. But it is not.
So hold on a second. Yes. Hold on a second. So then you now have the likes of Kojo Mpienu, the former chief of staff.
Yeah.
The likes of Boakye Jaku.
Yes.
The likes of Dr. Mwakuba. And the likes of, what's the name of this man? Atta Kennedy. Who are now beginning to question whether indeed it was even a good idea for others to have even joined in the first place. Because when you pick the newspapers, check the headlines. So some of the things that have been said on the thank you tour, which ordinarily should have made it to the front page, other people's comments, and the consequences of those comments is what has occupied the front pages of the newspapers.
You see.
And that's why I'm asking that. In thinking through the whole idea of extending invitations to others to join, were you deeply minded? Were you seriously minded by exactly what the consequences of that decision was?
Well,
that's the question I'm asking.
I've understood your question. You see, I'm not sure that you want to assume the position of a soothsayer, or you want me to assume the position of a soothsayer, or anyone to assume.
To be fair to you, I mean, you're not Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Exactly.
You're not Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's consultant or anything. So to be fair to you, I'm just asking a rhetorical question.
I am trying to see that, look, in building a party, we disagree to agree.
Yes.
And I've always maintained that you cannot purportedly say, or you cannot say that, look, there's this unity, or we seem not to be together.
Yes.
And don't take steps at it. What are the steps? I feel Moro is not happy. I feel this person is not part of me. Or I feel supporter of Moro is not happy. But if Moro comes together and we are all moving, we may have that thinking that there's now a commonality, which is the party.
Yes.
We've all come. It's in stages. You see, I hate it when some people want to think that we are there. We are there here means it's time for flag bearer elections. It's not there. We're not there yet. And that is why we got it wrong. That's why I have a problem.
But isn't it an open secret?
No.
In fact,
no, it cannot. Excuse me, with all respect.
Okay.
But the principles, you see, when you listen to me, I cited the constitution of the party.
Yes.
And said it should guide us.
Yes.
I cited the processes. It should guide us. And I'm saying that whoever thinks me, Kamal did, after I am more than 40 years.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And the constitution says after 40, if you have
you're
qualified. To be president, you are qualified.
But I'll vote for you.
So who knows?
No, I'll vote for you.
I'm not even thinking of it at all.
Yeah.
But you see, I'm saying that you never know who will come out.
Yes.
We never know.
Oh.
There are many people in the party. So we are not there yet. So the argument should not be reduced.
Come on.
Listen,
Sitting here. Are you saying you don't know the people who will be contesting? There will be flag bearership.
People who have made their intention, I know them. But it's not time. But I'm saying that making your intention or let people know that you are, it is not what the constitution is saying. We are not there yet. No nomination.
Why are you
is
talking law?
It's
Let's
not
talk
law.
reality.
It's law. Why? So if you want to contest, I'm not going to pick a form. Excuse me.
You don't know the people who are harboring intentions.
If you are going to contest, we need to go through a process. Are we there yet? We are talking about a committee put in place by the party to even review the constitution of our party. We have to go to conference on that.
Okay.
We have not even gotten there.
All right.
Now we don't even know the delegates base. We don't know anything. All we are doing now, or Dr. Bawumia is doing now, is to go on a thank you tour, and that ends it.
Okay.
And then the thank you tour, in the course of it, unfortunately, what happened in Kumasi was bizarre.
Okay.
For me, I think it's sad. Look, a single blood of someone must not drop because somebody wants to be somebody. I am against it, and I will never support it on a day.
But
I am saying
the Conti former students have issued a statement, and the thing has nothing to do with the Ken
no, it's not about that. Yes. But of course, the argument is that they came. The argument is that they came to join the program and blah blah blah. Yes. There are different narratives.
Yes.
But what is important is that the party was out there, or is out there thanking people, and we continue on it.
Okay.
And then let me add this: you read the story about the impression is speaking out there, and team has opted out or something like
from
that.
the temporary.
It's not true. And I repeat, I say this without any, with all the...
Richard Ahiagba, there's supposed to be a certain Richard Ahiagba
It's not true that he's actually... He has something to do personally.
Okay.
It's not everyone who can join.
Right.
At the point, he has something to do.
Okay.
Then he issued a statement that, look, I am coming back to attend to a private matter. I will be joining them again in a different region. But the impression created out there is that Ken and Team drops out of what?
No, as for Ken, he said he doesn't want to have.
But Ken is correct.
Yes.
But in Team's case, is what I'm addressing.
It's temporary.
It's temporary.
That's fine.
He has issues to attend to.
Okay.
We're going back to join them.
So would you chop your house matter, or you're interested in?
You have nothing to say here. I don't know why he's wishing to speak.
Ordinarily, I will leave them to stew in their own meeting. There are people who have grown up in this country and have come of age. Many of them watch these programs. So some may be bereft of the history of this lot, okay? What they are doing now is no different from what they did after Akufo-Addo lost in 2012.
Right.
What Bawumia is going on, the tour he's going on, is an emasculative tour.
Oh.
It is a tour to emasculate the people who may contend him.
He has invited them to join him.
Oh, relax, my brother. Let me head there. Why? Have you forgotten that prior to Akufo-Addo becoming the flag bearer again in 2016, Kwabena Agyapong was beaten up in his office, the General Secretary, slapped by Haji Afati.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Have you forgotten that the chairman, Paul Afoko, was dragged out of his seat by some Misogyna means? Have you forgotten that Kwabena Agyapong had to escape in the boot of a car to avoid being decapitated by Akufo-Addo's hordes? What's different from what they are doing now? Actually, what has happened now is that the stabbing has started early. At least in Akufo-Addo's time, the maiming and the killing was, it took a while. It took a while for the regional chairman in Upper East to be killed, to be sprayed with acid and melted to death. What an appalling way to kill somebody. So what is different now from what they are doing? And people like Kennedy Agyapong, who were front and center of that violence that was perpetrated upon the likes of Kwabena Agyapong and Paul Afoku, they've seen it coming early. That's why he has opted out, because he knows that if he stays on, there's a bloodbath coming. You see, when you gin up these things, remember that you have set a precedent that will come and eat you up down the line. What Bawumia is doing is basically reasserting himself. If you recall, during the election, Bawumia said everything that had happened that had gone bad during his term as vice president, he knew nothing about. That he was just a myth. That everything that had happened was at the behest of Akufo-Addo. He had no say. Whether it was DDEP, when he was the manager, he was the head of the economic management team, but he didn't have an input into DDEP. He didn't have an input in any of the gross mismanagement of this country that has put us where we are. Up to today, we are still paying for that mismanagement, and we will pay throughout our lifetime. So, in making sure that he emasculates the likes of Kennedy Agyapong, who he knows are a legitimate threat, and I am telling you today, if the NPP decided to go to an assizes, have a plebiscite, and vote for a flag bearer today, Kennedy Agyapong will win hands down if he contests. Because the things he said they were doing are the very things that Dr. Bawumia has now admitted that e-levy was wrong. He has admitted that they even increased petrol 3 days to the election, he was not told. He has admitted that the economic management during his time was faulty.
But that's a show of leadership, could you?
No, it's not a show of leadership. He should have shown leadership before the election. Instead of calling himself an apprentice, an aplanqué. That's what he said he was. You are the vice president of this country. People's pensions are being used to pay for the gambling of the president's cousin. And you said you didn't know about it. As we speak today, workers are still paying for that. The last couple of weeks, we had to pay domestic debt bondholders, institutional debt. Do you know how that debt was paid? Well, ask Ato Forson how he paid that debt. So, people are still suffering from what Akufo-Addo and his gang of troubadours put us through. Right? Auntie Dante and his gang. So what Bawumia should be doing is to label it an apology to all. That's what some people have told him. Apologize to all of us for what you have done.
He's been apologizing anyway.
So don't call it a thank you to. What are you thanking us for? For getting 38%. What are you thanking us for? For taking our pensions? What are you thanking us for? For forcing us to go down the depths of the deprivation. What do you want to do? You want to come back? Come back and do what? So he's making sure he is emasculating. That is the reason why Kennedy Agyapong gave Abronya a response. Why aren't you talking about the response that Kennedy Agyapong gave Abronya? Abronya was talking out of his backside and he got a befitting response from Kennedy Agyapong. I said, look, at a time like this, I should sit somewhere in growth. Like I said, maybe I should go home and leave Kamaldeen to explain his own mess. But what I am saying to you here is that Dr. Bawumia is replicating what Akufo-Addo. The playbook is the same. Beat possible contenders down into submission and let me be re-elected as the flag bearer so that I can take on John Mahama. That is what he wants to do. But you see, let me tell you what is different now. What is different now is that Ghanaians are very, very, very wise to what you people did in the 8 years that you were in power. Ghanaians are wise to the lack of leadership that Bawumia showed in the 8 years that he was there. The dereliction of duty that the vice president, who was the chairman, the chairperson of the economic management team, says that no, it wasn't me, it was the finance minister. If it was that bad, why did you resign? If Dr. Bawumia had resigned and said, I don't have the kind of influence I have on the management of the economy, so I am resigning as vice president, do you realize how much of a hero you would have been today?
Wouldn't it rather have been a political suicide mission?
No, absolutely not. It would have been a principled position that he had taken.
That would have been inadvertently
You
thrown
don't.
under the bus.
No. I said he resigned as vice president.
Yes.
I didn't say resigned from the party.
Yes, as vice president.
Yes, because
That
as
would
the
have been a
head,
betrayal
as the
from Nana,
head,
his boss.
No, why would it be a betrayal? What he's doing now is even worse. What he did before
because
that,
that would have embarrassed the president.
I have never heard in my years of being in politics a number two man disavow the government of which he was number two in the manner in which Dr. Bawumia did. That was enough of a betrayal. Indeed, Palgrave Wachidankwa has responded to him that you are betraying Akufo-Addo. So the elements of the civil war are all in place. So sit back, relax.
Akojo,
You don't drink.
When you also listen to the same Bawumia.
Get your bottle of Ekumfi juice. Relax and watch the ride.
Movie?
By the time they finish, they would have killed people. They would have maimed people. They would chop people's heads off with cutlasses. They will acid bath people. By the time they finish, they will decapitate people, all in the name of getting one person or the other for 2028. Because right now, 4 months into opposition, they are sweating. You see how how steam is coming out of his forehead? You see how much is blown?
Speaking about just a second. Speaking about Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia basically abdicating or removing.
He abdicated his responsibility.
But the same he uses the word pronoun.
In all the years have known you been diplomatic. This man too is a diplomat. Me, I'm not a diplomat.
But the man says we collective responsibility.
What is the collective responsibility?
But he uses the pronoun we. He didn't say Nanado.
He is disavowing.
No, we.
He is disavowing the very government he was a part. He started before the election. Now he's concretizing it. Because what we told him was wrong is what he is telling us was wrong. What is that?
There's always hindsight.
One of the things that they are even saying, that the choice of Napo was a problem. One of your colleagues.
Who said that?
Oh, it's part of the narrative.
No,
go please. When you're talking, I was watching.
No, I'm not talking.
Okay, Google it. Commentators have said it. Some of the elders in the party. You look. One of your colleagues at Joy FM,
Okay.
Kojo Yankson.
Okay.
The day Napo was selected, on his program, he said, "Watch Napo. He is going to destroy his first words."
That I recall.
Remember?
That I recall.
What did Napo do? What did Otunfo tell Napo? What did Napo do 3 hours later? You see, what I am saying to you is that whole government was a train wreck, right? Rollicking down, barreling down the hill. And the only time we were going to know that it was a train wreck when you go to the bottom. And now they are bottomed out. So Bawumia is going around in the name of a thank you tour. He's trying to emasculate everybody who might want to challenge him. And I said, watch the space. They will kill each other. They will maim each other. They will decapitate each other. By the time they finish, people will be without legs. People will be without arms. Some people would have been melted into rubble and bleached bones. Some people would have been buried alive.
I've never known you to be a prophet of doom.
I am not doom, MPP. So you think I want Kamaldeen and his gang to come back to power again and free and take my savings again?
We need a formidable opposition.
A formidable opposition that comes to government and takes my savings. I have been an engineer for 32 years. 32 years of my life. my small savings that I put away in my one bank account, Kenneth Ofori-Atta has stolen it to pay for his
not stealing it.
What
that's too strong.
What did you do? So you put. Let me ask you. See, you are trying to get me emotional. Wait, you are trying to get me emotional here. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Do you know the terms under which you buy securities?
Yes.
Do you know the terms?
Right.
Are you aware it's a call account?
Yes, it is.
Are you aware that when you want it, the bank is obliged to give it to you?
Absolutely.
Do you know what Kenneth Ofori-Atta did? He told the banks not to give us our securities because he was afraid of a run on the bank. What is that? Have you not stolen my money? When all was said and done, did you not see the former Chief Justice take her chair and go to Finance Ministry and ask for her money? Huh? Didn't you see it? Do you know how many people have died? Your former colleague, Echikwam, right? Find out his condition now.
It's bad. Terrible.
Okay. Where is his pension? Terrible. You want me to go on? And you want this lot to come back and come and finish stealing what they haven't stolen? You get up in the morning, you have come to sit here. When the people were stealing, let me finish. When they were stealing the money, they didn't give you some. The people who stole the money, where are they?
You see, let me give the rest of the 6
I am surprised we are reducing from where he stops. We are reducing governance to mean come and steal, come and make yourself rich, come and do whatever.
Didn't you people steal our pensions?
So you are excuse me.
Didn't you people steal our pensions?
Kojo, you made the point already.
What was it? Me, I want my money. Me, I want my money.
What would you do to a thief?
What was the deal?
Arrest the person. Arrest the person.
Who has he arrested?
No, but he doesn't want to arrest you.
Who have the powers of arrest? When they were sitting, when they were stealing, you were sitting in Saudi Arabia.
Today, we sit here, and today.
Yes.
Anyway, majority look, allow me. You had your time. Please allow me. You see, Moro, let's get serious. This platform, Kojo has always been on this platform, made very useful contributions. Okay? For people who are discerning out there to listen to it and sometimes shape their thinking and inform their movement going forward. All of us have done the same. Governance and political party arrangement has to do with what? Disagreeing and agreeing. I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Even in his party, and I cited what happened after 2016. Right. And right now, as we speak, even though they are in government, their party is in government. When it comes to party arrangement, there's fire on the mountain. In NDC, big fire on the mountain. Very soon, and you hear. Who is going to succeed John Dramani Mahama has started in their party. Whether it's Asiodun Ketia, whether it's Julius Debra, whether it's who, their names, speculations. The same thing is happening in our party as well. You sit down and say someone is trying to emasculate somebody, someone is trying to edge someone out. That is your opinion. In your party, the same thing is happening. Those who belong to the Haruna Idrisu factions are talking. Those who belong to Asiodun Ketia faction are talking. We all listen to each other. We hear what is happening.
Are they going on? Thank you.
I am saying we hear what is happening.
Are they going on?
Now you talk about, you see, violence. I've always been against violence on any day. And I told you. From one side, I said, look, not a drop of blood would I, Kamal, love to see this shed. And I would never support it. Anybody who knows me knows how. No wonder he said, look, you are a diplomat, keep quiet. That's fine. Politics shouldn't get to that level. I'm not saying what happened was as a result of our thank you talk. But of course, whether it was as a result or not as a result of that, directly or indirectly, we should all condemn it and move on. Why? With a greater respect to the former vice president, late vice president, may he rest in peace. Emi Saata. What didn't you hear even at his funeral? Even at his funeral. By his wife. Who was she talking to? So should we make meat out of it and run into town with it? No. The comments like, there is violence in our DNA. Should we go to town and speak about it? From them. So look, whichever way you look at it, NDC or MPP, let us all come together. That is why, you see, you can dislike Akufo-Addo for whatever reasons you have. This law, the preventive law, I want to plead to NDC and MPP. We seem not to be using that law. It was a well thought out law that all of us have to use, so that whoever is actually sponsoring whoever to do whatever, that person must be brought under, must be
court order. Yeah.
So I'm saying, because you can say somebody, look, say whatever happened in MPP. I can also give you a plethora of all the violence that happened in your party.
Okay.
And not too long ago, even DC and MC, what's the name? Confirmation.
Yeah.
Look at the blood. Somebody was hacked. DC confirmation. John Dramani Mahama just DCU. Let's go. Assembly go. Someone cut someone deep. And I said, why?
Look at the TV.
Why do you do that?
Yes. Show it to him.
Why?
Show it to him. What was used to stab the person? Was it a spoon?
You see? So
was it a spoon that was used to stab
I'm saying
the
that let us all be against.
Show him that. Show it to him.
Nonetheless, and I'll appeal to MPP, please. Whatever happens, like I said, we are human beings.
Okay.
But let us all be tactical about it. Our big men can speak. You refer to some elderly people in the party, and I will urge them from here.
Okay.
We have Council of Elders. The chairman of Council of Elders, Hackman Osai Jemaya Kudava. Let's sit down together. Invite whoever and tell them, look, let us go through the process until we get there.
Okay.
Dr. Bawumia is not saying I'm the flag bearer. I am the former flag bearer and I'm back on a Jenki tour. He's not stopping today, he's not stopping tomorrow. He will go to the end that I know. And inshallah, if Allah says he should come back and contest, he's not intending to edge anybody out. He will come and contest. If Allah says he's going to win, inshallah, he's going to win.
Okay.
And so I will end here by saying that, look, I will appeal to my party, the leadership of my party, chairman team and everyone.
Okay.
Let us make sure that internal democracy is properly seen in the party and we move on.
Okay. Now, Kojo, speaking about the KNUST incident, we have chanced upon a CCTV footage. So we're going to play. I don't know how long it is. Anyway, so let's play. How long is it? 2 minutes, 3 minutes? Okay. All right. So let's watch the footage.
Smart
What's on fire? Yeah, this is ugly. Yeah, I caught it. That's what I said. I said, we're going to no free bar. If you're not a fire banana,
I'm not a fire bar.
I think so.
Yeah. No, Simua.
I'm not a fire bar.
And you're smart,
What's on fire? Yeah, this is ugly. Yeah, I caught it. That's what I said. I said, we're going to no free bar. If you're not a fire banana,
I'm not a fire bar.
I think so.
No, Simua.
I'm not a fire bar.
All right, so this is what we have been able to get so far. So we just thought that the public may be interested. So as and when we get some more footages, we'll show them.
What is the difference between this and when Hajia Fati went to eat pizza before she went to attack
Okay.
What's the difference?
Let me read this by Kake Samoa. He says, Kojochu Boafo's suggestion, Kake Samoa, the NDC's Director of Communications, he says, Kojochu Boafo's suggestion that Bawumia ought to have resigned on grounds of principle is a sound one. I have not forgotten that the NPP thought it fit to select a sitting vice president to become the running mate to J. Kufuor in the 1996 elections. Vice President Akka did not resign, and accordingly, the people of Ghana voted against J. Kufuor. If Bawumia had said what he's saying now when in government and had resigned thereafter, maybe the voters would have seen him differently. Now he's merely dancing a discordant political dance that's promoting violence in the NPP. Chris, let me just do this here briefly from Chris. Chris from Ashaliboche says, do the NPP folks only reason properly like reasonable citizens when they are out of power? Innocent citizens were chased like war fugitives when police stations in Ayawaso, West Wolga were invaded in a Rambo style during a by-election. And Kamal Dean and his hypocritical MP had seen nothing wrong with it. MVP diligence invaded a courtroom in Kumasi, inflicted injuries on innocent citizens and freed their own, but MVP kept mute like unborn babies. And they are here today shouting rule of law after they have enjoyed the e-levy cake and teased Ghanaians, and now they are going around on a tour thanking us for stealing from us. Chris from Ashaliboche. Anyway, Kojochu Boafo has been my guest. He's the acting CEO of the Financial Intelligence Center, and also Kamal Dean, who's also a very good friend of mine. He's a Deputy Communications Director of the NPP. And I want to say a very, very big thanks to the two of you for joining us this morning. I want to say a big Juma Mubarak to our Muslim colleagues as well, Muslim friends. Let's meet at the mosque later. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Watch out for Cook Africa Season 2 coming to the Metro TV with Ahiniwa. This time around, we're coming with some surprises, prizes, and of course, it's Ghana Month. So watch out for some local delicacies on Cook Africa with your favorite Ahiniwa.
Premium shall we place on our health? Is it to wait and get hit with the condition? Or on a daily basis, how do we check the body before health slips away? Living Well is the lifestyle series that will help you get tips to some health issues. My name is Ethel Poplampo. Join me every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Metro TV for the Living Well show.
Living Well is brought to you by Fontina 74 Mixture. More than 80% of global trade is carried by sea. Most of the products we consume daily travel through ports, making them a key link in the global supply chain. The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority is committed to ensuring the enhancement, resilience and sustainability of port infrastructure and maritime trade. Get to know which vessel is bringing your goods, how much duty you are required to pay, and how quickly you can clear your goods from the ports of Ghana. We ask the relevant questions and elicit responses from the appropriate authorities. We interact with you via our social media platforms and put your queries across to the expert. Iron Port shows this and every Sunday live on Metro TV at 5:30 p.m. Iron Port is proudly brought to you by and powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Iron Port, transparency in doing business and building nation.
The Ghana Celebrity Impact Awards, GCIA, is an annual awards ceremony that recognizes and celebrates the outstanding contribution and impact of Ghanaian individuals, corporate entities, and celebrities. It celebrates Ghanaian philanthropy, promotes social responsibility, empower youth and community development, and celebrate achievements in giving back to society, thereby fostering national pride and unity. Here are the nominees for the Impactful Celebrity of the Year 2024 Female Category: Nana Mama Brown, Jackie Apia, Nadia Buari, Denta, Yvonne Nelson, Martha Ankoma, Juliet Ibrahim, Bella Mundi, Hamamat Muntia, Dinah Hamilton, Ohineyiri Gifty Auntie. To vote for the Impactful Celebrity of the Year 2024 Female Category, go to www.GhanaCelebrityImpactAwards.com. For enquiries and table reservations, call 053-755-0058 or 053-753-5390. The Ghana Celebrity Impact Awards is brought to you by Visa King, GCIA, celebrating the spirit of giving back.
Denver heads to the Intuit Dome to face Kawhi Leonard and the Los Angeles Clippers. Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets looking to close the series in 6 games. And the first, Jokic steps back, knocks down the 3. Then Aaron Gordon in the short post spins and rises for the two-handed dunk. The bench loving what they're seeing. Denver up 1. Russ, pass it to Jamal, 25-foot three-pointer above the break. He knocks it down. Kawhi comes right back for the Clippers. Dribble, spin, rise, knocks it down. James Harden driving down the lane for the transition layup, and then the claw. Rising up for the dunk in the paint. James Harden, step back three-pointer, the patented, knocks it down. Clippers up 7. Aaron Gordon finds the Brody on the wing for 3. Westbrook knocks it down. Then Harden comes right back and knocks down a triple of his own. Clippers up 1 at the half. Let's get to the third quarter where Zubac gets the block on Jokic. Norman Powell running, transition, drives down the lane, rises up and slams it. Two-handed style, all in the paint. More Clippers action. Powell drives down the left lane and gets the righty scoop. Then Powell corner pocket, got it, knocks down the triple. Clippers up 14. More Clips, mid-range, knocks it down. Kawhi Leonard. Nuggets on the rampage to come back. Jokic hits the floater. Then Westbrook finds Murray, fast break transition, lefty layup, knocks it down. Clippers up 6. Norman Powell, the head fake, rises up, knocks down the triple in the corner. You like what he's seeing. Clippers up 9. Let's see the Clippers defense late. Zubac gets the block on Nikola Jokic under the basket. Jamal running the fast break to Russ. Another block by Batum. Clippers locking down late. Then Jokic trying to will his team back. Drives down, misses the layup. Potential to cut the lead down to 3. As the Clippers force a Game 7, defeating the Nuggets 111-105. The New York Knicks head to Detroit to face the Pistons. Game 6 of the NBA playoffs, first round Eastern Conference action. Cade Cunningham, Jalen Brunson getting ready. And in the first, Brunson getting in his bag. Post up, turn around, splash. Then Karl Anthony Towns drives baseline. The tough layup off the glass. OG Anunoby